are you, man?
Good, man. Good.
I know you didn't get the result you were after last night, but you fought one of the great fighters in the world, and you went out there. And what was it like?
He's tricky and strong. The strongest guy that I've ever been in the mat with. Physically, especially in certain positions. In certain positions, I was much stronger than him. And a lot of the wrestling ones, when he'd be on a single leg, I could out-muscle him, I could out-technique him. But off his back, the strength that he was generating from his half guard was impressive. It was like, it doesn't look like it on tape, but I was straining with everything I would have every time he was on bottom for me to try to get away from him. It was something impressive. It was usually somebody on bottom, you could just shake him off, but it's not his strength alone, it's the technique that he has. It's he truly is a world-class competitor off his back, and in a lot of the positions that he's good at, like taking the back, and once he gets there, how to hold the position, he would just take my hip out of play a lot of times, and my hip wasn't even able to come into play the way he holds the back, so my hat's off to him in the grappling department. A lot of people are like, man, he just came to hug you. That doesn't matter. That's what that guy did, and I respect it, and I'm a big believer of the natural course of a fight. Like, I don't believe if somebody takes me down that the referees should ever stand us up, no matter how boring it gets or it doesn't, because that's what would happen in a real fight. You would get taken down and you'd get held down. Also, I believe that I wish there was like more knees in certain places allowed, so there isn't that advantage, for the grappler or anything. It should be just like a fight, but it was great to get the experience. Obviously I wanted to win, but I learned a lot in this fight, I learned things that I could actually use for myself, because if he was able to do it to me, I know I could do it to anybody in the world, I know a lot of people, they don't want to see like the groundwork and stuff, but that's what the guy does. You can't ask him to start throwing 1-2s and high kicks, I don't think he landed one punch or threw many punches on the feet,
none.
And it's crazy, because even when I've had him sprawled out, he was just still able to create action for himself, So it's something that I think, me personally, I could beat him on a rematch. I would have to tweak this, tweak that, and just be on that night, I made a big mistake in the first round that costed me a lot of endurance with the forearms. Like, me fighting off the first chokes in the first round, man, my forearms were pumping after that. I was grabbing onto his hands with everything I had.
He was committed to trying to get it.
Yeah, he was committed, and I just had to. But see, that moment when I just gave up my back, that time to try to get away like I usually do, I could have just maybe been on my back, engaged in the jiu-jitsu a little bit more, not so
that was
explosive.
A choice.
Yeah, that was a choice I made, because I've gotten away with everybody in the world, getting away from everybody like that, giving them my back, fighting the hands, and wrestling out of there. But Maya's special in that position. I just have to be on, not make no mistakes, be extra focused, not to give him my back, especially with hooks. Could have had my elbows tucked in a little bit more. I'm just upset. This has never happened in my career that I've been written for that long, and I think he rid me like maybe 8-9 minutes of the fight, and that bothers me deeply. So I'll be right. Thank God I got no injuries, so I'll be in the gym Monday, getting stronger, getting faster, doing something,
And you want to fight within the next couple of months again?
I want to fight within. I'm ready to go. For me, in my behalf, it was more like a grappling match that I got into. He was in the fight, so I know. I think he asked for a little bit of time off for him not to fight in the July card. So I would love to fight the highest ranking contender I could get my hands on come July 29th, maybe even the July 7th card, because I have no injuries, nothing,
And you like to train and get better and grow as an athlete and an artist. Do you see yourself as an artist?
Yeah, for like a violent artist,
Yeah.
It's work,
Yeah, but you'd do it for free if you could do it and not get in trouble, right?
Oh, of course. If I could, if I wasn't making a living off of it, I'd be competing in it in some form of way,
Do you feel a hunger when you fight?
Well, me personally, I'm always hungry right before a fight, because I don't like nothing in my system. So I'll have a big breakfast that day, and then maybe little snacks till the fight. I don't want my body to be processing food. So I'm actually hungry when I get in the cage,
Yeah. And then what do you eat after?
Yesterday the things didn't get set up the way we wanted it, so we kind of like it was improvised, and it wasn't good. We ordered cheese pizza and it didn't have no sauce. We ordered a Hawaiian pizza, didn't have no ham. It was bad for the night food.
Man.
Like, and just the footwork alone from like this fight to the last fight, where I pressured Cowboy to with Maya, trying to be more on my toes, moving laterally to not give him a set target, not to make it so easy to get to my legs.
He's good at trying to bird dog guys down. He's good at that.
Yeah, he's good at it, and I know he wasn't even gonna throw a strike, you know. And it's a fight, and you're thinking he's gonna throw a strike at one point, but he just does it, you know.
Yeah.
And he's still able to somehow get himself to the leg, throw himself to half guard, and then make it his world, you know. Because even if you're mounted on top of him, that's his world. He doesn't care at all, you know.
Yeah.
My hat's off to him for that. With the core strength that he has, I would think he'd be able to translate, maybe not to like a crisp shot with a lot of technique or speed, but definitely with power, because he's such a strong guy that if he can get his hips behind it, he could hurt people, you know, and definitely he'd throw anybody off, you know. At ATT we get some good stuff. Like, we get a guy that's wrestled from 7 years of age, so he was 22 in college that he stopped, and the guy's just a beast in the wrestling department, so he can come in there in wrestling practice and just rape a lot of guys, you know. So you get your tools sharpened up, and that's my favorite way of sharpening my tools, is just go with a guy that's the best in that area, you know. I'm not gonna do Muay Thai with a wrestler.
Right.
I'm not gonna do jiu-jitsu with a boxer.
Because you're gonna submit the boxer and kick the wrestler, and
So the Mundial champions that come in from Brazil out of the gym, which are plenty of them, I go with them, you know. Hey, what's up? I heard you're real good. Let's roll, you know. And it's not to challenge them or like who's tougher. Yeah. It's just to get my game better, you know.
Yeah.
And then in the process, I show them, if guys always know that if man, I want to know how you do this, I'm quick to show my techniques and stuff, you know.
Yeah.